Anyway, around the country. You want to talk about how USC got beat again by Oregon?
Oh, well, that sucks. Did Caleb go cry to his mom again?
No, he did not. He held it together this time.
Did he shake hands?
I don't know.
Fam, this is a problem. This is a problem. Somebody need to call him out for this. I'm dead ass. I am dead ass serious. You're not gonna show up every opponent that you lose to, bro. So this is not. I'm not about to. I can't delete the fuck Utah shit out of my mind. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Can't delete it. It won't leave. Also, can't delete all the other times when you win a game and you're all too gleeful to go out there and shake everybody's hands.
Yeah.
Talk about a fucking sportsmanship clause.
Colorado lost to Arizona.
That's embarrassing. But shout out to Jed Fish in Arizona, man, running Michigan West like a powerhouse.
Gross. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be bowl eligible. I don't think they're going bowling this year.
We all over the country, man. We got Michigan West at Arizona. We got Michigan East at Massachusetts. We got Michigan South at Charlotte with Biff Poggi.
Ew.
We all over here.
Biff is
Shit, matter of fact, is DJ Durkin on the short list to replace Jimbo Fisher? Because then we could really have Michigan South for real.
I thought you said Sharon Moore was...
We'll be Michigan worldwide.
I
thought
you said Sharon Moore was taking over.
Wolverines worldwide.
Gross. We don't need more of that.
It's WWWW.
Gross.
WWWW.
Let's see. Anyway, moving on.
You said Colorado's not going to make a bowl, right?
Yeah.
Who they got left? Who's on the schedule? They still got Stanford on the schedule, right?
I think so.
And they got how many losses right now? 6?
Oregon. Oh, they got 4 wins right now.
4 wins.
No,
they still got
4 wins, and they've got Washington State and Utah.
I feel like they're going to hit the number that I gave y'all, man. They're going to hit 5. They're going to hit 5.
By beating Washington State.
They're going to beat Washington State. They're not going to beat Utah. I don't see that happening. But then again, Utah doesn't... I like Bryson Barnes. He's like Cam Rising Jr.,
yeah.
But he's not as productive as Cam Rising.
Facts.
And he feels like he's kind of holding them back right now. So there's a potential for an upset there. There is. I don't know how confident I am in it happening. But that's a little bit of a window there for them. If they win at Washington State, though, it will be kind of like a do or die in this season. You know, play up. Let's go ahead and get this win and go bowling kind of thing.
I think that also depends on whether or not Utah loses to Arizona.
I don't think that'll happen. Arizona's a good team, but they're not going to beat Utah. Colorado may be able to do it just because they're more explosive. They have more unpredictability that you can introduce to Utah than Arizona does. I feel like they can game plan for Arizona a little bit better than they can for Colorado.
Speaking of Utah, they lost to Washington 35-28.
That was a halfway decent game. I was watching it kind of on and off after our game went off.
I'm wondering if Washington could lose to Oregon State next week, though. Washington, Oregon State, top 10 matchup.
Could be. On the
definitely be watching that game.
Who are we talking about? Utah and Washington.
Mm-hmm.
28 points to Utah, and they struggle scoring against anybody. How confident are we in that Washington defense if they do make the playoffs? So let's say they went out, they beat Oregon in the Pac-12 championship again. They were in the Final Four somehow, probably replacing the loser of Ohio State, Michigan. Who are they going to stop in the playoffs?
Not Georgia, not the Michigan Ohio State winner.
Anybody can stop Ohio State right now.
Nah. And
it's called double team Marvin Harrison. You think y'all have a potent offense?
I think it is serviceable against a Pac-12 defense.
Yeah, I didn't ask you about its service. I said, do you have a potent offense?
No.
Potent enough to strike fear in the heart of an opposing defense. Honestly, Washington Ohio State. This is probably the year for a 12-team playoff because a Washington Ohio State matchup is probably the best matchup in the playoff top 6 right now. The most adequate matchup because what they lack defensively is what I feel like you guys lack in offensive efficiency, and so it'd be a much better matchup than a Georgia Washington.
That would be a pretty good matchup. I'm not gonna lie, because that'd be an elite defense versus obviously everything that Penix and company have.
Like, honestly, I don't think we match up with Washington very well. It's a mismatch. It's like we both have mismatches. I think we would run Washington's brains into the ground, but then on the other side, they're gonna go 5 wide and they're gonna go hurry up the whole fucking game. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know how to. I don't know. They got a pretty good running back out there too, but they're gonna throw him the ball too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're prepared to face a team that wants to throw the ball 50 times.
Yeah.
I don't. Not that we're not prepared for it or can't prepare for it, but I don't want to.
And you also don't have I don't think you have the depth at DB.
At DB to cover 5 wide sets. I trust Jesse Minter. He come up with the scheme to kind of slow it down, but pass rush would be an issue just because they'd be getting the ball out too quick. There's a lot of problems with that offense, man. The easiest solution for playing an offense like that is just to keep the ball away from them, in which I think we would have a easier time doing that than we have it at certain spots this season versus other Big Ten teams, because Washington can't stop anyone.
Yeah.
So it'd be a very, very interesting cross cut there.
Let's also talk about Georgia just destroying Ole Miss.
Man, that's your fault for ranking Ole Miss like they was something.
Yeah.
I blame all the people who hyped up Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to Quinshon Juggins, but
52-17 though. Sheesh. I didn't even know Georgia had that sort of offense to put that much up on anybody this year.
Ole Miss has been playing these close, like, hammer it out, run it type of, almost Big Ten football is really weird. You would think with them having Jackson Dart, I mean, they got Quinshon, but they also have Jackson Dart. You would think that they'd be airing it out just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But they are a heavy run team. And if you can't score and you're behind on the scoreboard and you have to abandon the run, and that's not who you are, good night. Good night, Irene.
Yeah.
But I never really thought that they were a challenger or a contender to win the East. That was ridiculous from jump. Now, if you want to say, okay, Georgia hasn't played anybody, they got this streak of, Florida, Missouri and Kentucky and Ole Miss there at the end of the season. Okay, if you just were trying to gauge what Georgia is, that's fine, but never. Georgia's now the number 1 team in the country. Now hold the fuck up. Now hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. We made Ohio State the number 1 team in the country because of who they played, Notre Dame and Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, obviously, we can see what Notre Dame actually turned out to be this season.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State's still a valid win. Somehow now, Georgia not only leapfrogs them for beating Ole Miss, who's a fringe top 10 team, and who also hadn't beaten anybody of note all season. Right?
Yeah.
Not only do they hop Ohio State, but then they hop us, who hasn't looked inferior a single quarter this entire year, including the top 10 matchup that we just played.
Wait.
Top 10.
No, they wouldn't jump y'all. Y'all are 3, aren't you?
I'm putting my logic here together. If we're all vying for the number 1 spot, I guess that's why.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
You're right. Not technically jump us because we are behind them in the
But why you should be number 1?
Yeah, I'm saying so they beat out both of us for number 1.
Yeah.
Come on, man. If that's not historic bias, I don't know what is. If that's not saying, okay, they've won the last 2 national championships and now they finally played somebody in week 10, so let's rank them number 1. I don't know what is.
That's fair. That's fair.
Maryland beat somebody 13-10, and it was embarrassing. Yeah,
right.
okay, there we go.
So they beat Nebraska.
Nebraska 13-10. Jesus Christ.
Crazy.
Yo, Talia's draft stock has to be plummeting at this point.
Yeah.
It's got to be plummeting. Like, he was like a fringe first round, maybe second round, day 2 type of guy. To 4th, 5th round. I mean, he doesn't even look like the same guy. Now, I'm giving him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he has Josh Gaddis as a offensive coordinator now, and I understand how terrible that can be on a quarterback. Just ask Shea Patterson. Just ask what's homeboy that tore his ACL at Iowa, McNamara. Just ask Tyler Van Dyke. Ask Talia now. Having that man as an offensive coordinator is the bane of your existence. Run if you see Josh Gaddis coming through the door, and take your mother with you.
Yikes. Take your mother with you is crazy.